Hello, everybody. Welcome to the session on Is QA Dead in the Age of GenAI? Our focus will be on how GenAI or generative AI transforms various aspects of the QA process. My name is Srinivas Murthy. I'm playing the role of a principal quality advocate at ThoughtWorks. I'm also the global community lead. I've been at ThoughtWorks for a bit more than 15 years, with about 18 years of industry experience. I'm a frequent blogger, presenter, and my passion is in learning and development and capability building. So today we'll be talking about GenAI and QA and how they are related. So the agenda is quite light. Firstly, we'll be touching upon my understanding of what quality assurance is, so that we're all on the same page. And then I'll be diving into how is GenAI is helping QAs in this day and age. And then following on, talking about limitations of GenAI in the software testing world. So let's start off by talking about why do we even care about quality, right? So here are a few reasons. The first one being customer experience. Organizations develop software, applications, and products for their end users. And the way these organizations stay ahead of the competition is by retaining existing customers and also thinking of ways of how to expand their market share. And one of the strategies to achieve this is by having a great customer experience and making sure that the end users are gaining their time to value as quickly as possible. The second reason is faster delivery, or what we can call as speed to market, which essentially means once something comes up as an idea or a business proposition, from that time onwards, how long does it take to manifest that idea to a user in a production or a live environment? Hence, we start thinking about how do we increase the throughput and decrease the cycle time. So these are the two main factors to consider while measuring quality. But let us not forget that there are organizations themselves who are building these products and applications that we need to cater to, right? So we have to make sure that the organizations who are building these products and applications for their end users are getting the right return on investment of the products that they're delivering. So the question here is, how do we balance a better customer experience and faster delivery, and at the same time making sure that we are getting a right return on investment? So we understood why we care about quality. Now let's look at how do we care about quality. So from a customer experience standpoint, testing is user-centric. And so this is achieved by conducting user research, observing user behavior, and analyzing the results, right? And then we incorporate all of that information into our test cases and test scenarios. Likewise, we look at production data and information coming from users, including metrics, feedback, surveys, A/B testing, and whatnot, right? And all of this information could be gathered and again fed back into the test scenarios and test cases. Thus, we ensure that we are covering as many realistic use cases as possible over and above the edge cases and other scenarios. So then when we talk about speed to market, then we start thinking about how can we perform testing activities as early as possible in the software development lifecycle. And here we have a focus on test automation to deliver well-tested code and incrementally and as often as possible. So thus we ensure that high quality software is delivered in the shortest possible time to the users. And the third point is around reducing waste and making proper use of our investment by making quality into the process and making sure that we are uncovering defects and highlighting risks as quickly as possible. We also make sure that we are evaluating and making the processes and improving the processes, which we also call continuous improvement, and giving priority to open source tools and technology. So all this is good, right? But all of this requires a certain mindset. And what is that mindset about? So the mindset is all about being inquisitive and curious. Um, just like how a child's mind behaves, they are quite inquisitive. They would like to explore everything around them, and curious about, touching objects and just like, making sure that they want to like just like explore everything around them as possible. The second thing is around lateral thinking. So lateral thinking is all about solving problems through an indirect and creative approach, um, and reasoning that is not immediately obvious. The third one is thinking in an analytical or a critical way. So this I also refer to as Socratic questioning. And Socratic questioning is basically a method of inquiring that seeks to explore complex ideas, concepts, by asking questions that challenge assumptions. These three, on top of these three, we also need to then understand two other things, which I call context-based testing. So context-based testing is ability to grasp domain concepts. And so understanding the domain in which you're working in is quite important when you're testing for software quality. Otherwise, I would say, it is basically testing with a blind eye. And understanding the domain then also helps people to question ideas that are being generated, understand users and how they're operating and whatnot. So it is quite important and quite critical to the mindset of how you think, what you think. And the last one is knowledge-based testing. So this is about bringing learnings from your past experiences. So you could be working in different domains, and bringing those experiences of testing, test approaches, strategies, and overlaying it with the domain concepts, with this personality of analytical thinking, being curious, being inquisitive, really helps somebody to become a good quality analyst or a tester. So that is basically my understanding and introduction to software testing, quality, and the mindset required for it. So now let's look at how GenAI is helping quality analysis and testing in this day and age. So if you remember the time when calculators were invented, or the time when automation testing came into existence, both of these led to a shift in the types of skills and jobs that were in demand. So while some jobs were rendered obsolete, new opportunities came into the field related to technology, electronics, and software development. So this pattern is not uncommon in the history of tech advancements, as new technologies often lead to shifts in the job market and the creation of new industries. So how is GenAI helping in software testing? The first one is, here are a few things like I've listed from my experience so far. The first one being test data generation. So one of the key advantages of GenAI is its ability to generate diverse and realistic test data. And this enhances test coverage and accuracy, contributing to better and more robust test scenarios. And talking about test scenarios, GenAI also automates the design and the generation of the test scenarios, saving time and effort, while ensuring that we have enough test coverage for a given context. And so this leads to more efficient testing processes and quicker identification of potential issues. The next one is around test automation. Automation is a cornerstone for modern QAs, and GenAI plays a crucial role in enhancing and optimizing test automation processes. And this, of course, as we discussed earlier, it decreases cycle time, and we can deliver faster into production. The next one is around test result analysis and defect management. So GenAI, again, facilitates in-depth analysis of the test results, and also streamlines defect management, providing valuable insights into software quality. This also leads into effective bug identification and the resolutions of them. Test strategy and planning. GenAI aids in developing good enough test strategies and plans, adapting to complex software environments. Once again, this leads to ensuring comprehensive test strategies, test coverage. And the last one is test suite optimization. So through intelligent optimization, GenAI streamlines test suites, improving efficiency and reducing redundancy of the code. And this optimization is key to achieving a balance between thorough testing and resource optimization. So now, having seen the advantages and the usages of GenAI, let's then look at what are the limitations on the back of that. So what we have seen and heard so far is GenAI really operates in this area around quality of implementation regarding code, architecture, and designs. And that is the focus area that I feel that GenAI is being used for at this point of time. But if you look at the broader picture, there are other areas where the aspects of quality can be looked at. So, for instance, you have quality of ideation, quality of customer feedback, quality of the metrics that we are looking at, whether we are looking at the right metrics in the first place or not, is also something attributed to quality. Quality of the skills and abilities of the people in the team, and also looking at it from a broader perspective, the company culture, recruitment and learning mechanisms, all of that contributes to the quality of how we are developing software. So from my perspective, I think GenAI is, again, repeating myself, focused quite around the area of implementation of the code and architecture and the designs. But there is a lot of other aspects of quality which needs attention and focus, where probably GenAI is not currently, in that place. Over and above that, there are also quite a few other constraints that I've come across while using GenAI. So regulations and ethical challenges. So despite its capabilities, GenAI poses challenges related to regulations and ethical consideration. So adherence to guidelines become quite crucial. GenAI GenAI's performance heavily relies on the quality of the data and the code provided. Um, so any like poor quality um, of data and code can lead to suboptimal outcomes. So hence the emphasis on the diligence needed over there. Error and flaws in modeling. So modeling errors can introduce biases and flaws, and it's really essential to recognize these potential pitfalls and continuously keep refining the models. The next one is upskilling requirements. So testers need to really upskill to effectively interact with GenAI tools, and understanding their nuances is quite vital for successful implementation. And then you have incomplete consideration of criteria, and I've practically seen AI models which really do not account for all the criteria mentioned in the prompts. And then, so hence, human oversight is very crucial to really ensure the completeness and the accuracy of the outputs. And the last one I've mentioned over here is around lack of emotional intelligence and logical and mathematical reasoning. So really, GenAI really lacks emotional intelligence, and highlighting the importance of human intuition and interpreting results is quite important. That which is missing over here. So what does this mean for quality analysts in this age of GenAI? There's definitely going to be a shift in the tester's mindset, right? So testers must shift their mindset to ensure the quality and the reliability of data and code used to train these AI models. And this shift involves adherence to ethical guidelines, compliance with regulations, and also validation of AI outputs for security and privacy. The next is around understanding the underlying models. So testers should understand the underlying models to ensure the accuracy, completeness, and the testability. As we spoke about in the previous slide, there is a lot of limitations over there, so we need to like try and see how we can focus on this area as well. And then checking for biases and hallucinations is also quite vital. And vigilance is required to identify and address biases and hallucinations in the outputs of the model. And the last one is around embracing human emotional quotient. So with the additional time that you have, the GenAI is giving us, understanding human emotional quotient and feeding it back to the model becomes quite essential. So in conclusion, I want to say that GenAI really presents a revolutionary shift in software testing and QA. And it really offers remarkable advantages in test automation, data generation, and a lot more. But however, it comes with its own sets of challenges, emphasizing the need of a balanced approach, human oversight, and continuous learning. So overall, the role of a software tester with the introduction of advanced AI systems like GenAI would really shift towards specialized and more technical demanding tasks, with a focus on understanding and validating the behavior of the AI-driven components within software applications. So, I mean, in a sense, AI could become a creative co-pilot, and together we can become a better innovative team, is what I can say. So with that, I would like to Thank you all for your time, and I hope to connect with you on my LinkedIn and share more ideas and concepts. So thanks a lot once again.